Thousands of people watched this live today. A lot of people talking about it because it was so powerful in court. We knew this would be emotional, but it went further than that. The victim's family stepped into their power, looked mass killer Bryan Kohberger straight in the face and ripped him to shreds, all while the court learned more about the beautiful lives he so viciously took.
If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your ass.
A scalding statement from Kaylee Gonzalez's sister Olivia, first leaving the courtroom speechless, then full of applause after looking her sister's killer, Bryan Kohberger, in the face, exposing him for who she says he really is.
They're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Let me be very clear. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud.
Her impact statement, one of many from the families of Kaylee Gonzalez, Maddie Mogan, and Xana Kernodle. Ethan Chapin's family chose not to speak during sentencing. The 4 roommates were killed in November 2022, stabbed to death by Bryan Kohberger, who was caught by DNA on a knife sheath and video and cell phone evidence that put him near the crime scene. But that night, 2 of the roommates were spared. One of those, Dylan Mortensen, who saw Kohberger leaving the home, unaware her friends were dead upstairs. She bravely addressed the court.
He took them from me, my friends, my people who felt like my home. What he did shattered me in places I didn't know could break. I was barely 19 when he did this.
Xana Kernodle's stepfather visibly affected as he talked directly to Xana's killer.
I'm shaking because I want to reach out to you, but I hope you feel my energy, okay? Go to hell.
But Xana's aunt taking a different approach, offering for Kohberger to call her to talk about this if he chooses.
But Bryan, I'm here today to tell you I have forgiven you because I no longer could live with that hate in my heart.
The missing answer, why? Police and prosecutors were never able to find how Bryan Kohberger knew any of these victims. There was never a social media link found, and they still don't know who the actual target was of his attack. When given an opportunity to speak himself today, he said,
"I respectfully decline."
Many, including President Trump, wanted the judge to force Kohberger to reveal his motive and why he chose this group of kids. But the judge said while he couldn't force Kohberger to talk, he is also done giving any more attention to the stone-cold killer before sentencing him to life in prison.
In my view, the time has now come to end Mr. Kohberger's 15 minutes of fame.
The 3 words that he could have said, "I am sorry, I respectfully decline." It's so unsatisfying and just disappointing, but what can we expect at this point, right?
And he showed no emotion either. I mean, I think people were looking for an ounce of anything during these victim impact statements. You really saw nothing from his face during all of that. And even when Xana's aunt said, "Bryan, I forgive you. You have my number. I'm willing to talk to you anytime," he still didn't really show anything. And that was the only person that showed him any ounce of mercy. I would say Kaylee Gonzalez's sister, that mic drop moment, the way that she so eloquently addressed Bryan Kohberger while tearing him down was probably the most memorable.
She gave it to him. A lot of them did. It was emotionally exhausting for us to watch as outsiders. I still can't believe that the one young woman who knew them was so composed in her statement. That was so emotional to watch.
Yes, and she sat down, roommate who was there, who saw this happen. I mean, it's just so emotional for them. Yeah, but one thing I do want to note, they had a press conference after this, and we did learn that Kohberger wiped all of his devices, many of his electronic devices, before investigators could get to them. So now you wonder what was on those.
One of many questions we're left with.
So many, yeah.
Wow, Briana, thank you.